Well, hello, friends. Glad you could join us. Welcome to the ninth round of this CCRL. What's the official name for this now? Wednesday Elite Wednesday tier? I don't even know. Not the point. We're here in Miami at the Miami Autodrome for what should be a fantastic race this year. 20 cars all looking to do their best on this very tight and tricky and mistake-making circuit that's been designed to send our drivers for a loop here. We'll quickly go through starting grid now. It's the Williams of Big Man Rye on pole, 4/10 clear of Reimer in second, DB to best third, fourth R. Manson, fifth King Pro Player, only 5 thou ahead of Johnny Damon in sixth. Seventh is Mr. Milla. Eighth and ninth is the pair of the Alpines, Merck and DWCJ. 10th, Walrus. 11th, Hemphead. 12th and 13th will find the V-Carbs of Pontiac Bandit and Curveball. Sepulveda 14th, John the Prince 15th. Owa 16th, Jabor 17th, Bong at 18th, and Charlie Golf and Aniote rounding out the grid without times. I am joined this week by former commentary partner a couple seasons ago, Trackside, and former driver as well. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Hey, thanks, Hotspot. Appreciate it. It's been a while. The summer's coming to an end here. Things are slowing down, and I'm just glad to be able to be in the booth with you tonight.
Oh, I hear that, man. This busy time of year, and it's only going to get worse with Christmas. But this track, to me, is one. It fits into that category of circuits where, in real life, doesn't always produce great racing. In game, produces some of the most fantastic overtaking battles that we will see all season long. Not to mention generating the mistakes, as we've said. It's a track that's been constructed for that. Trackside, I know you've raced quite a lot. I haven't raced on this track competitively. Do you see that kind of the same way?
Yeah, it's a race that we see, in real F1 that's got a lot of overtakes, but they're overtakes that, you don't see, in the main battles. And that kind of holds true when you're talking about the virtual world too. It's definitely a strategy track. Overtaking is difficult, so track position is key here. And there are some tricky bits. You got to be patient on the throttle out of turn one. You've got the mistake generator there after turn 11. So some real tricky spots throughout the lap here.
Definitely throughout the lap, and not to mention tricky spots as well as much as on track, but not to mention it's not exactly a very wide track. There's a lot of places where you're going to get funneled together with guys, and you're going to be, having to negotiate that, specifically the tail end of that second sector. You're going to have to be negotiating that, and then also staying out of trouble with track limits as well. Strategy, big, especially once even potentially safety cars come into play. This one may have it all here, and I tell you what, this definitely has the makings to be a very good one.
Yeah, you're right. Turn 11 is one of those key areas where you're coming down that long straight. You've got cars punching a huge hole in the air, and you can come into turn 11 3 wide and quickly run out of space. And I think we might see, I bet there's going to be a good example tonight of that 3 into 1 does not go. So we'll keep an eye out for that as this race unfolds.
3 into 1 will almost never go unless you're potentially talking about NASCAR. Even then, it gets a little tricky. And we are what I would assume is to be just moments away. That run to that first corner, Reimer has been, once again, pretty much unchallenged by anyone other than his teammate this season. They lead the constructors' standings by some margin. Reimer leads the driver's standings by 38 points over his teammate. The nearest driver behind them is DWCJ and the Alpine, and nearly 100-some-odd points behind. But the Williams of Big Man Rye, will he be able to find something potentially into that first corner? Remember, no formation lap here in CCRL, so once you see those cars on the grid, it's go time. And really quick, while we have that minute, once I'm on the cast with you, always cracking open cold ones with the boys. You already know how that goes.
Oh, perfect. I already had a cold one cracked, so I don't feel quite so bad now.
Well, I don't have... Well, it's more piss warm at the moment, I'll tell you the truth, honestly. I've been set up here for 30 minutes, but anyways, not the point.
Well, the only thing better than beer is cold beer, so you're on the right track.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Our drinking league is a racing problem. Anyways, over under 5.5 DNFs tonight, do you think? Because somebody's... Oh, never mind. We'll get to that in a minute. We got lights turning on here for eventually 5, and for the 9th time this season, CCRL is underway, and it does look as if Big Man Rye and Reimer have gotten away somewhat evenly. He's going to cover the Mercedes by the time they get in the first corner. DB DeBest is going to try it around the left side. Reimer has had a terrible start here. He's lost several positions as King Pro players managed to get around that of Johnny Damon. Manson's going to get shuffled back, and as now they try to file their way through in towards Sector 2, it's going to get very dicey here very quickly.
Yeah, R. Manson, another car falling backwards as this lap unfolds. He's already lost 2-3 positions.
Oh, goodness me, that was a bit of phasing in and out there between Hemphead and R. Manson. Not really sure what that was about, but we go on anyway. We got 2.5 tenths of a second for the lead here as they make their way heading towards the horseshoe here. So we have a yellow flag at the back. John the Prince seems to have gone round. Potentially, it looks like Curveball and Charlie Golfer in on that as well. The top three. Oh, it's a big slide from DB to Best. Reimer's going to send it up the inside. And, well, I don't know how he's done that, but he's made that one clean. Whew, what awareness.
Yeah, snuck through there, and he's going to be under pressure now as he's punching a hole, and he's got these guys behind him on ERS for sure down this long straightaway.
And meanwhile, Big Man Rye has almost gotten to already. Well, it's going to close a little bit down here with... they don't have DRS. That slipstream is still there either way. Nearly a second entering that back straight as we've got a good battle going on back here. Curveball's going to try to send it. Oh, he's gone for nearly 3 cars there. Oh, and clean into the side of Angry Walls. They all file and spin around behind him. We got about 6 cars in the runoff area. Well, that was a little odd. Curveball went for it on both Manson, Onyote, and Owa, and he's overshot the corner and has taken several with him. My leaderboards can't even catch up with right now with what's happened.
Yeah, John the Prince also getting caught up into that as well, coming around the tail end of that kerfuffle, I guess you could call it.
Well, I tell you what, John the Prince is probably saying something not able to be said in this broadcast, but kerfuffle, I'll use that word, good. As we go here, DRS have obviously now activated, as John the Prince unfortunately has taken an early bath here, retires in the pit lane. Big Man Rice still leads Reimer 7 tenths of a second by the time they make through the corners here. DB the Best knocking on the door, King Pro Player and Johnny Damon as well, as we do have Owa and Pontiac Bandit side by side. Owa's going to really send it round the outside, now the inside through the horseshoe, and he has gotten ahead of the V-Carb in that exchange. And that looked quite the dive there from Owa, but he's done it cleanly.
Yeah, these guys at the top all chasing one another. There's a little bit of a gap between first and second, but second through seventh, I mean, these guys just all over one another's gearbox.
And meanwhile, Big Man Rye has now eclipsed a 2-second advantage over Rapid Reimers. We do have another yellow flag somewhere along the line. It's going through that, 17th corners. It appears Bong and Onyote have had some sort of exchange going through that. But as they file their way now through Sector 1 again, Reimer leads this little bit of a queue here. Something's happened again. Reimer leads DB to Best as well. King Pro Player, Johnny Damon, Merck, DWCJ trying to poke his head in the battle as well. We're going to have the DRS trains, probably. However, with that does come eventual drivers having to get a little bit risky and make a move happen.
Yeah, and you've also got mistakes that are going to happen too. These guys practice all week, but they're not perfect. And the slightest mistake will cost you 2-3 tenths, enough for the guy behind you to get past.
As they make their way in towards, what is this officially, turn 11 here, as we do have still the yellow flag at the back. Sepulveda's on his way in. Merck trying to file in behind Johnny Damon. I'm expecting, with how bunched up these guys are, either here through turn 11, through the chicane, or maybe in towards 17 next time by. It's going to be a bit of a stack up here, as we do see ahead DB to Best looking down the inside of Reimer, and is going to have that one rather easily once DRS has been activated. As we do have another slow car going through, entering the chicane now. I believe that's either Bongit or R. Manson. Something's gone along there. But Big Man Rye, 3-second advantage now, only just beginning the 4th lap of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, now if Reimer and D kind of can work together here, they can use that DRS, but looks like King Pro might throw one up, and D-Best has lost 2 positions in turn 1.
Was that just pure error there? What was that? That was a very unusual to just see him go that wide through the corner and then have both Mercedes go through there. That was there contact there? That I didn't even really catch that. That was very odd.
It looked like a lockup from DB, if I can recall that.
We still have yellow flags here going through. I tell you what, this track map is really throwing me for a loop right now. It's saying things I don't even think is true. Looks as if the Mercedes are going to try to invert position here. While it's relevant, at least for the time being, we'll have a look at the tire strategy. King Pro Player is the only one who's gone soft for this occasion. Everybody else residing in the mediums, except for Curveball, Jabor, and what is now Bong It, who have all gone hard. King Pro Player on the softs, that's a bold one. He's gone and he's looked for the early safety car here, and it's not happened. He is, I think, probably at the disadvantage now, strategy-wise.
Yeah, those softs probably only good 7, 8 laps, maybe 10 at the most. So he's going to really have his work cut out when he fits that hard tire kind of pit stop time.
Merck's going to try to send it to the inside of DB DeBest in towards turn 17, as it looks as if DWCJ trying to poke his nose on this battle as well. I think DB DeBest in a difficult position here. His teammate of Mr. Miller has fallen behind. Oh, there's contact between the Alpines as they head down the pit straight here. DW down to the inside, and, well, that one was very close to, if you were along with us last week, you will have noticed what happened between the two Mercedes guys at Suzuka on that final lap. That was very kind of reminiscent of that. But, well, when you do eventually watch this stream, R. Manson is being shown as the leader. That's not correct. I don't know why it's saying that. Big Man Rye second. He's actually in first, and he's got a 5.5-second advantage over King Pro Player. What a start from Big Man Rye. He wasn't even really contested off the start, and he's absolutely pulled away now.
Yep, and Reimer keeping up with King Pro on those softs. He's got the DRS now. He'll get it again as they get on the back straight. You got to think just not the right strategy call tonight for King Pro coming out on those softs.
Well, it's a difficult question, especially I'm assuming that King Pro Player and Reimer, having been the good team that they are, I'm assuming they keep in contact with each other at least before the race, probably not during. That's basically telling me that these guys wanted to avoid a double stack if the safety car happened. Double stacks in this game do not work. They never have. They probably never will. And we had that, I forget if it was this league or not, but we had a pair of teammates like that, really got screwed over in a double stack under safety car. And it almost never plays out correctly. So I think that was more or less the decision from King Pro. But Reimer's going to take him around the outside here down the pit straight, as Johnny Damon's going to look for it as well into the first corner, as King Pro has lost 2 of them there.
And we were briefly 3 wide, DB DeBest and Merck, and now DB going sideways through turn 2, and both Alpines going to overtake him.
And that's a second noticeable mistake he's made there through Sector 1. That is starting to tell him, it's one thing to make a mistake once, but then it's a different thing to not allow them to pile onto each other, and that is now the second critical mistake there, as Jabor has been disqualified for going the wrong way. Where is he about on the circuit at the moment? He's exiting turn 17. I think he was trying to back himself to safety there, and as it turns out, he's done the opposite of that, and that car is now no longer in this session.
So Johnny Damon's gotten past King Pro, and that's going to throw a wrench in the Mercedes plans here. King Pro losing 2 positions to Reimer and Johnny Damon there.
Well, let's look and see if King Pro can get around him now. Johnny Damon will have DRS to Reimer. King Pro will have... Well, I was going to say he was going to have the slipstream to both of them here, but he's quite a ways away, as Johnny Damon is going to try the outside here. Reimer more or less defends that inside, and not really gives Damon a choice. Now, this is the smart thing to do here, I think, from Reimer, having to send it around the outside through 17. That's not going to help Damon. He's had a bit of a wiggle there. Reimer's going to get better acceleration through this final little right-hander and down the pit straight. He's going to block the inside again, and Reimer, for the time being, is defending quite well, but he is on the ropes here, that's for sure.
Exit turn 1, and that's going to set up King Pro a little bit to get on the attack.
And I'm assuming King Pro is really going to have to go ahead and send this one now, because his bid for that early safety car has not worked, and he is now, once again, very much on the back foot, and so he's going to have to hope for something drastic to happen, or he's going to have to make magic happen now. I will say this, give or take probably a 25-second pit window. I mean, it's still probably about P14, 15, I would say. So not ideal, but I think at least if you can get to those hard tires and, let's say something happens after that, you might be in a good spot. But yeah, that's a little bit risky there, and I think he's only going to continue to fall back.
Yeah, I'm wondering, that soft really, as a looking Reimer really cutting that corner there. But Johnny Damon with a wiggle, but King Pro I'm not sure he's getting the traction out of these slow corners with those softs as they are really coming to, sorts the end of their life here.
Well, he also appears to be playing it quite conservative as well. He's got about 70% battery remaining, which surprises me a little bit because he's had at least a couple opportunities here to get around Johnny Damon. I just don't think he's taken them. Damon down to 11%, Reimer holding it steady about 30, so we know he's used it a little bit. Damon is fully on attack mode now. As we look at, really quick, the biggest movers and losers of this one, well, as it turns out, both the Red Bull drivers have done quite all right. Owa's up, I was going to say 5. I don't know if that's what you're seeing or not. Once again, my pylon is doing some sketchy things, but both the Red Bull drivers have made significant improvements here. And I think as well Charlie Gulf up 3, although I think it's still really not going to plan for him. But either way, 8th lap of the Grand Prix here. Big Man Rye leads by now 8.5 seconds over Reimer, who continues to be pressured by the 2 behind him.
Yeah, our timing tree doing some very strange things tonight. I'm showing our Manson at the top.
Oh, okay. I'm glad it's not just me then.
Correct.
I'm very glad it's not just me then, because that's usually the sign of, oh, you're about to get kicked.
But yeah, Red Bull drivers doing well tonight. They started on the back foot, but they are slowly making their way up. Oh, getting close to the points.
Yeah, not too bad, but we do see now, along with DB the best, he's actually within a 4/10 of DWCJ here, who his teammate of Merck is actually pulled slightly up ahead of the road of him. The Alpine of DWCJ will not have DRS, and DB's going to get one back here. Now, hopefully, this will be somewhat of a revitalize that confidence that he may have lost. And that's a big slide for Merck as I interrupt myself there. Merck has nearly lost that completely exiting 17. DB might have a fair look here into the corner as we have a yellow flag going through 17. Not really sure what that's about. It sorted itself out rather quickly. But as I was saying earlier, DB made the 2 really noticeable mistakes here through Sector 1. It's one thing, again, to make a mistake. It's another thing to try to not let that pile on. And for the time being, he's got it under control, but you'd have to think one more slip, and it may start seriously going downhill for him.
Yeah, and every time you have a slip like that, you lose a little bit of confidence in your machinery, right? So you have one little wiggle, no big deal, but a big slip like what we saw him have, you're slower to go throttle. You're not going to throw the car in like you normally would. So you just lose pace by not having that confidence.
And I mean, it's one thing to lose position to somebody, right? Like, you're in a spot now, like Angry Walrus has gotten around Hemp Head here. Walrus is going to stick quite to the inside. DB to best, well, there's your mistake that we were just talking about. He's the first, I was along with Hemp Head there. He spun around, maybe a little bit of contact with Angry Walrus off at, turn 12. That car's in the barrier and missing a bit of a front wing, but there's the mistake that we were probably thinking of, as Johnny Damon's managed to get around Reimer going through 17.
Yeah, Johnny Damon been riding Reimer, but Reimer's going to get back in front as they head to turn 1 here. There's going to be some swapping positions as there's no tire offset now, and they're staying within that DRS delta to one another.
I didn't quite catch the graphic at the beginning. Uh-oh, what's that? Sepulveda. Okay, never mind. I saw communicating with server. I got scared there for a second. I didn't quite catch the tire graphic at the beginning of the race where it will tell you the predicted strategy. I'm assuming we're getting pretty close to there. It's a pretty safe bet. 30-lap Grand Prix. Sorry, 29-lap. 29-lap Grand Prix. Assuming these mediums are going to go for probably 3 to 4 more, I would say, and then we're really going to start to see guys come in. But you never know. Maybe one will go early here.
Yeah, I'm thinking. If I'm thinking correctly, the soft probably will start to show their fall off here, lap 12, 13-ish, and we should see those medium tire guys go, I would think, to at least lap 18, maybe?
So if they go to lap 18, does that open the door for a medium soft then, potentially?
That would be you can make a case for it.
It's risky, though, isn't it? Because, like, you go to the softs, they're going to be good for those first 3 couple of laps, but when you're fresh out of the pit lane, you're you're not in position to overtake cars. You are in position to try to get that time back. So, is it worth the risk? Probably not, I would think.
If you're going to come out into traffic, it's definitely not worth it, right? Because if you're going to be behind cars, it's going to degrade those softs even further. But if you can get out in, some open track and some clean air, you can make a case for it.
Well, as we were along with that, it appears King Pro Player is losing time significantly to his teammate in Johnny Damon. He's approximately 2.25 seconds behind that battle there. I'll go along with Onyote and Pontiac Bandit seem to be side by side going down the pit straight. Wheel to wheel they go, heading in towards turn 1 they go. Microscopic amounts of contact there, but now, and Pontiac's going to lose that on the curb as it appears. Reimer's going to try it. He's going to have a look around Johnny Damon. I don't think Reimer's in position to get desperate, really. I think if you're in that position for Reimer, you know that Big Man Rye is probably, definitely, in a league of his own right now. You got to hope for a safety car, and you got to hope to maximize points, and that starts with getting around Johnny Damon.
And we're talking about being desperate with some of these overtakes. And we've seen in the real F1 world recently where some of these overtakes have become microscopic within the rule set. Has CCRL seen anything like that hotspot? Has there been any issues with overtakes recently?
Very hardly. I will say the racing, it's very difficult as, okay, here's the thing. I've casted probably over 150 races since I started in September of 2020. You can tell the difference between something either really desperate, really stupid, or just hard racing. I think this season has had a little bit of controversy here and there, but I think the majority of said controversy has been due to hard racing. I don't think anybody has really done something dumb enough to warrant being looked at, necessarily. I do recall we had at Japan last time out, it was one of the opening laps of the Grand Prix, King Pro Player and Charlie Golf were side by side going up through Dunlop. That's the blind curve, the left-hander after the S's, and they found the inside of the wall between the first and second Degner, and that again was really just hard racing. There wasn't too much foul play in that. Two cars trying to go up the track in one like that, and you slide up and get into the other, as Reimer's going to get around Johnny Damon. The racing has been very hard this season. I would not let the points tallies for both drivers and constructors throw you blind. I think really it's been fantastic racing we've seen.
That's good, yeah. It's been good, and it's getting good just watching Reimer and Johnny Damon scrap away here through this lap.
And I'm a little surprised that Reimer has, well, neither driver has found an advantage so far, as Damon's going to try to go down the inside. I'll have to outbrake him here. I think Reimer's going to be slightly later, but he will get round the Mercedes for the time being. Yeah, it appears Reimer's not going to have any immediate say on that one. Let's see. He does have DRS. He's going to try it to the inside. Now, this is what's surprising me here. I don't usually see this many overtakes going in towards that first corner. Usually, definitely not as much as 17, not as much as turn 11 either. You won't see much happen into turn 1, but we've seen that a couple of times today, which is good.
Yeah, and that's what, this track it can lend itself to overtaking, but, it's the DRS trains that really kind of negate it. But you get two cars out of a train like this, and it can just be back and forth, back and forth.
Well, we've got our first round of strategical pit stops happening now. DB DeBestis pit a lap ago. DWCJ Walrus, not Curveball. DWCJ Walrus, Owa, Onyote have all stopped here for the hard tires as scheduled. King Pro Player has done that as well as Charlie Golf. Charlie Golf did pit 9 laps ago for those mediums. I have a feeling that was due to the incident on the opening lap. So, what that tells me is this. Big Man Rye, with his advantage, it's only just going to get better. I think, realistically, for Reimer, he's got to find some sort of advantage over Johnny Damon here. And I'm not too sure that either one of these guys are in position to actually try to get creative with tire strategy. Because I'm sure, as you know, Trackside, if you're following in behind somebody, and this is a guy you're battling with for the majority of the race, you're going to base your strategy decision off of what they do. As Reimer goes in, Johnny Damon follows. Oh, and he's nearly missed it. Wow, okay, that was close. I don't know if you caught on to that. Johnny Damon was very late on the brakes, nearly got clean into the back end of Reimer there on the way into the pit lane.
Yeah, this pit lane train comes at you in a hurry. So it's good to see that they saved some heartache there coming in. But yeah, I think if you're big man Rye, you see the guys behind you pitting. You've got almost a pit stop now between yourself and R. Manson. So good time to come in.
As we see now, King Pro Player is stopped for those medium tires. Remember, he was one of the drivers to take the soft tires there. He's got to go another 15 some odd laps on those mediums. That is doable. I mean, we're seeing these guys at 13 lap old. That tells me that you can go longer. It's a little bold. It's a little bold, really, because he's 3 seconds behind Damon and Reimer, and the mediums are going to help him, but he's not got DRS to anybody. These two, unless they really start battling each other back and forth here, they're only going to continue to pull farther away, as we do see as well the two Alpines 6/10 between each other. Grid's starting to get a little bit spread out here, as expected with pit stops, but still Reimer, still Johnny Damon, and King Pro Player's on the outside looking in, but he's sure to try to look for one as Big Man Rye into the pit lane.
Yeah, I'm not sure the strategy there with King Pro, if he's banking on a safety car, maybe, which is very possible.
I will say, at least for him, though, he doesn't have to worry about DB the Best behind him. He could probably stretch those mediums as long as he can. He's got, as Johnny Damon's going to make his way to the inside of Reimer here, he's got 3 seconds behind the Haas, as well as the Haas having a 3-second time penalty of his own. I think he's really just looking out for, yeah, he's got to be looking for that safety car, and if it doesn't happen, he's just going to be looking to turn some consistent laps here, and that's going to help him. Big Man Rye pits and comes out of the pit lane approximately 14, nearly 15 seconds now ahead of the rest of the grid. It is a total domination display from him. Let's see, is he on pace for the Grand Slam? Yes, he is. He's led every lap. He started on pole. He has the fastest lap currently. Yeah, I tell you what, he is on pace to do something special here.
Yeah, an absolute domination performance here from Big Man Rye. Mr. Miller just now getting past Owa, so he's up to 11th in that Haas. Finding it very difficult to find any grip right now is Miller. And I wonder, as they go on these hards, if we are going to see, we could see a possible safety car with the amount of grip that they're losing going from the mediums and softs onto this hard.
If it's going to happen, it's going to be in that first sector. That tail end of the second is very slow speed. Those first couple of corners there are, I would say, probably Ping is the most difficult on track. You're not going to lose the car through the chicane. If you do, you got to have help from behind, really. Into 17, unless you really outbrake it, that's just not going to happen. I think that first sector, yeah, it's going to be someone... Well, I was going to say it's going to be someone exiting the pit lane here. Curveball is the only driver is yet to stop, so I really don't think that's going to happen. Unless somebody genuinely loses it on their own here.
Yeah, we've got a few groups. You know, we've got Damon, Reimer, and King Pro slowly making his way back up to Reimer to join that group. And then behind, we've got the Haas and 2 Alpines. So as those battles start to ensue, we could see something happen in that first sector.
So just a note on King Pro Player. He exited the pit lane approximately, how much was it, 2-3 laps ago. He was about 3.2 seconds behind this battle. He's now gotten that gap to within 1.2 and has just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, currently denying Big Man Rye of the Grand Slam. Suddenly, looking like one of the stronger drivers on track, as we have a yellow flag. We've got the Haas of Mr. Miller, and I think Owa, we're getting into it there. It seems whatever it's gone has sorted itself out as going through that chicane as well. I think Big Man Rye may have had a bit of a slow one there, it appears. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Not sure what that was.
So yeah, right. King Pro now almost within that DRS to Reimer, and while he's on that medium tire, Reimer really needs to let him through and let him up to Damon so that he can kind of, you know, work Damon a little bit and get Damon to use those tires.
So Big Man Rye will set the fastest lap again, currently on his hard tires. And oh, by the way, King Pro well, he's got it about 3-4 tenths of a second at most over King Pro Player, which is a lot, I think. Oh, that's a big slide from Rye! Oh, and he's only just saved it. He went way heavy over the curb there, going through turn 4 or 5, whatever it was. He nearly lost that, and he has only just gotten away with it.
I mean, that just shows you the level that he's pushing at. 17 seconds in the lead, and he's not backing down in the slightest.
That car genuinely was about nose into the wall, and then it slid around and back tire first. I think realistically, he's gotten super, super lucky there to still be in this Grand Prix. Really, a lot of drivers would have lost the car in that, and he hasn't.
My. We do have some more pit stops taking place now. Charlie Golf, Curveball, and Bongit in for service.
And this will be Charlie Golf's second stop of the day. I remember he had pit after that first, second, third lap incident there, as he's currently trying to fend off, Hemphead as well. Well, I was going to say as well as Bongit. I think Bongit's just a lap down now. He's just kind of on the outside looking in, has to be said. Yeah, he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna get Charlie Golf now. He's lost quite a bit of time there exiting the corner. As in towards 17 they go. Damon leads Reimer 0.4 of a second, who leads King Pro Player as well 0.4 of a second. And Reimer's not gotten a good getaway at a 17. This position may very well switch here. Down the pit straight they go, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen now.
Yeah, King Pro has been hounding Reimer this entire last lap, and it really would do Reimer some good just to let that teammate go by, let him sit there, use Johnny James a little bit as a punching bag, and then it's going to make Reimer's job a whole lot easier here at the end of the Grand Prix.
I would definitely have to argue that as well, because realistically, King Pro Player is not going to be the stronger driver at the end of the stint here. He's got, I mean, we're coming up to 10 laps to go here very shortly, and those medium tires are not going to be peaked for that long. So yeah, I think King Pro Player really has to consider getting around Reimer and then attacking Damon as much as he can. Forcing Damon into a mistake would mean the world here. And I mean, these guys as well. Oh, as Reimer, I think, nearly made the mistake there. Went a bit deep into the braking zone, had to check up, and King Pro Player nearly side by side with his teammate there. They've sorted that one out, but that one was slightly scary.
Yeah, a little lockup going there into 11 for Reimer, and he almost ended up in the driver's seat with Damon there as they came through. But I think he may get overtaken here. He didn't get a great exit coming out of 13 there.
Well, down the back straight they go. King Pro Player lines it up around the outside of Rapid Reimer. No, not quite going to get this one. Just a quick word on our next 3 Grand Prix. We do have what I consider, of course I'm from America, but I consider this my home Grand Prix, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec, Canada for round 10. Sorry, that's 11. This is round 10. Sometimes numbers aren't important. Anyways, round 11 takes place in Montreal, round 12 Singapore, and round 13 in China. A couple of fun ones here, and of course Baku and the 100% at Belgium to round out the season. We are on pace for a very fun final couple of races here, as it still seems King Pro has yet to get round Reimer. It's difficult here, isn't it? Because as these two battle with each other now, they are losing time to Johnny Damon ahead. I don't like that. That is not a good look for these guys.
No, it's not a good team game, and it's really, it's the fog of war. Reimer can see track position right now, but he can't see the entire war. He just sees this one battle, and unfortunately, there's definitely more pace with King Pro right now in those medium tires, but he's not going to be able to use it.
It appears the Haas of Mr. Miller's had a slight go around there going through that first sector. Seems he's sorted out whatever problem it was. At the line this time, as Big Man Rye finds it, we will have 10 laps to go. Johnny Damon trails by 17, nearly 18 seconds, although does have the constructor leading, drivers championship leading, pair of the Mercedes behind them. Johnny Damon, and I was talking to you about this in the build-up trackside, has been a very good driver this season. The mistakes have been killing him, and I think a second-place finish here would do him wonders, and we could see him go on a roll after this.
Yeah, consistency was always kind of the thing that, I remember biting Johnny Damon a little bit. A very quick driver, very fast. But yeah, it was just, sometimes just a little silly mistake here or there that would cost him a whole Grand Prix. But so far, he's looked to be kind of in command of that vehicle today. So we'll see if he can hold on for another 10 laps.
Well, yes, 10 laps he does have left, and he's going to be all right on tires, isn't he? Those hards aren't going to be dangerous level. Whereas King Pro Player is going to send it to the inside of Reimer. Goodness me, he's almost taking his teammate with him. Both of them going over the white line, going through turn 11 there. That one was risky. King Pro Player wanted it to the inside, was late on the brakes. Reimer didn't give it up, and that has hurt the both of them now, as Reimer is going to be outside of DRS range back to Johnny Damon. What, it has to be said, what was King Pro thinking there?
Well, I think the move was on. You know, it's been on for a few laps, and he would have had it, but he kind of backed out of it, maybe feeling like it could have been a little bit of a dive bomb, but the move looked on to me.
I think the problem is more or less not committing to those moves, really. I think it definitely looked on. I will say that to comfortably be within overtaking range, you got to be at least within 0.2 of a second. He lunged from about half a second there. It was on, but I think he kind of had himself some second guessing with it on his way in. Potentially that hurt him.
It was that mid-range of the overtake. You're halfway through the turn, and it kind of got lazy, and he kind of backed out of it, and that really made it all the more clumsy as they finished out. I think if he'd have just kept in it, you know, followed out that apex, it would have been a nice overtake.
It appears the V-carb of Curveball has had a slight go around through the chicane. He's sorted it out. But now, well, King Pro Player this time is going to get down underneath Reimer here and potentially for the spot. Reimer's going to try to outbrake him on the outside. He's not going to succeed, but I tell you what, no love lost potentially between the two Mercedes guys. They were, I will say, they were very respectful of each other after the incident last week in Japan. Maybe could that be fading a little bit, because now, I mean, that move, let's be real here. Let's lay the cards on the table. That move very well could have cost these guys a second and third place finish. One of them probably could get on the podium here. In fact, going to, I would definitely think. But it could have been more. It could have been more, and I'm not sure it's going to be.
Yeah, we'll see if they can work together here. Both of them could end up on the podium. But King Pro now starting to just very slowly claw back Johnny Damon, and we'll see how long those mediums last.
So Mr. Miller's picked up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. He's currently one of 5 drivers with time penalty today. Curveball's got 2 of them. DB the Best, Angry Walrus, Miller, and Hemphead, the others. Which surprises me a little bit. Of course, this isn't really a penalty-heavy track, but you do see it more often than not. And I will say, credit to the drivers. They've kept it within the white lines today. And, well, for the time being, 3 DNFs, 2 of which I believe in the pit lane, and then, of course, the DSQ there by Jabor. This has been a very clean and mundane isn't the right word, but it's been a very kind of contained Grand Prix today, which I guess is a good thing in some cases.
Yeah, most of the time you're going to see your track limits now on board with King Pro right through this section of track as the cars are trying to maximize that apex and just taking too much curb. But you do that, 3 too many times, and you found yourself with a 5-second penalty, or a 3-second penalty in this case.
I always wondered why it's not 5 seconds like it is in real life. That doesn't make any sense to me, but not the point. I will say this, right? I'm a little surprised King Pro Player has not started to fall behind yet, considering his tires, still the mediums. They are going to go away first. However, he's pulling some good time, and he's gotten a big man Ryan to the pit lane. Am I seeing this correctly?
Onto the softs.
What is even that? I'm so sorry. That doesn't make any sense to me. Did he have a puncture or something? Like I don't know. That is a...
So he's come out behind Johnny Damon by just only a half second.
Did he lead? I think he did lead that lap, though, surely. And he's still on the pace for the Grand Slam if he gets around Johnny Damon here and gets it. That is a very, very bold decision. It has to be said. I do not think I would have done that. Of course, that
is strange.
He had 13 plus seconds of advantage, and he's gotten rid of it here. He's gone to the soft tires. It's not like he had pit early. And, matter of fact, he was one of the last runners of the mediums to actually come in. This is a purely, I think, assertion of dominance here, potentially, from Big Man Rye if he gets around Damon here? I think it has to be.
You think just to say that he took an extra pit stop and still won?
There's just no other way that this makes sense. Oh, but he's not going to get around Damon. He's a couple of corners away from losing the Grand Slam as Bonget has retired on track and the safety car is out. Are you kidding me? Big Man Rye, did he just see into the future? I mean, he may have.
How did he know that he's got a crystal ball there below the steering wheel?
Oh my God, the first on-track DNF of the day is a safety car with next time by being 5 laps to go. As Johnny Damon, well, a bit of a stack up here. They are going to get past the safety car, but what? I mean, what is even that? Come on now.
And it comes right as the leader has pit for brand new soft. So, yeah, couldn't have been worked out better for Big Man Rye.
That is just so... I mean, the Grand Slam is out the window, which is unfortunate, because I think he rightfully deserved one today. The win is obviously still in play. As far as pit stops are concerned, we have had King Pro Player, Reimer, Manson, DB to Best, DWCJ, and Angry Walrus, as well as Charlie Golf, Owa, Mr. Miller, and I believe are we going to see Hemphead in here. Pretty much everyone and their mother are pitting for soft tires here, except for Johnny Damon and Merck, are the only 2 drivers in the top 10, top 12 even, who have not stopped here.
Yeah, and significantly, King Pro has made it in and out of the pits in front of Reimer. So King Pro getting ahead, that lap before that safety car came out, has proved to maybe be the key here for him to make his way onto the podium, and maybe not his teammate.
Well, I don't know if you've just seen that. Johnny Damon has gone into the back end of the Red Bull. What is happening now? Big Man Rye is pitting again, as well as Johnny Damon. This is this is confusing. Did he... He's not even replacing a wing. He's just taking another set of softs. What is the... I mean, was 2 laps really that significant there?
Yeah, why would you not take the track position?
I mean, maybe was he worried that he was going to... I mean, okay, he did have probably 2 laps of racing length on those tires. Now, here's the problem with the softs. Since they've gotten rid of that tire rule, we genuinely don't know what the softs are capable of doing. We figured like 10 laps here. If that's the case,
well,
why is he pit?
We know that King Pro did about 10 laps on that soft tire from the start, on full fuel.
I mean, this is just utterly puzzling here. Like, is this some sort of statement? I don't get it. There's just nothing makes sense in that. It really doesn't. What does make sense is this. It's going to be Merck taking the lead here. He has stayed out. He's on 11-lap-old hards with... I'm assuming the safety car is going to stay out at least... Oh, as our Manson's picked up a penalty for falling too far back. We're going to have probably 3 laps of racing here. I would assume the safety car is going to stay out one more time. We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars yet to join the queue. So that puts us at lap 27 of 29 is when I believe this race is going to get going. That means they'll have DRS for 2 of them. Yeah, there's almost no situation. Merck could leave with the podium here. That is pushing it, though.
I would be very surprised if that was the case. He's going to lose so much time coming out of these slow corners compared to these guys on brand new softs.
But it's interesting, though, isn't it? Because he's the one that's going to be controlling the pace here in the restart off the safety car. If he gets a good one, he very well could pull ahead and stay ahead if Johnny Damon is caught sleeping. Because if Damon, let's say Merck gets away well here, Damon and Big Man Rye battling in that first corner, that could leave Merck about a second gap exiting that first corner. That is best case scenario for him. Let's not ignore that. That's very unlikely, but that's possible.
I think what I might take with even higher odds than a podium would be a Merck win, in that Johnny Damon, Big Man Rye, King Pro Rapid, all these guys are going to be fighting into that first corner and the corners thereafter.
Oh no!
And that really could free Merck up quite a bit.
I'm getting migrating host messages. That does not usually end well. Although, I haven't been kicked yet.
Those.
Bongit has left the session. He is the lobby host. Once... Okay, it appears it's just a him thing, it seems. Or is he the lobby host? Is he?
I don't know.
Because usually if you're getting kicked from a session, it will tell you that everybody's leaving the session. Migrating host has happened. Bongit has left. That's the only notice I've gotten so far. Maybe we're okay. But I do think you might be right here. I think if the Mercedes duo keeps it clean here, and they allow for Damon and Big Man Rye to be battling here off the start, they could find their way onto the podium. The question, again, is going to be if Merc gets away well enough to catch these fellas out by surprise, and if he's able to hold on until, realistically, DRS gets in play.
Wow. This really, what we thought was going to be a straightforward last few laps of the Grand Prix has really turned into us having to do some gumshoe work as to what's going on and how this thing is going to end.
And again, we have genuinely no idea why Big Man... First of all, pitting for the softs was one thing. I understood that because it was like, you had the 15 seconds advantage and you were probably going to get drowned Damon anyway with DRS. He's pit again, despite only being on a lap, 2-lap-old soft tires. Now finds himself third in what was almost a guaranteed win for him prior to the safety car. And now... Well, outside looking in isn't necessarily the case. I think he's definitely probably still the favorite out of these three, but still, very odd. And oh, the safety car is going to stay out another lap. We're going to have 2 laps of racing here.
And this plays into Merck's hand. The longer
oh my god, it does, doesn't it?
Out.
It does, doesn't it? Because they're only going to have DRS for the second lap. Oh, Merck is really getting lucky here, we'll say that much. I mean, again, long shot, but still, it's possible.
And not great news for Big Man Rye, the former leader of this race. He's going to have very limited time to get any overtaking done once this thing goes green.
And he's going to have limited track position as well. There's genuinely, as much as DRS comes into play, there's not much good overtaking room otherwise. Like, going into that first corner, we've seen pretty good. There's not one other spot on this track without DRS that you're going to make a move in. So Big Man Rye has got to hope that he gets away well here. And if he doesn't, and the Mercedes get away better behind him, yikes.
Will we go green this time by? It looks like we have everyone queued up.
I certainly hope we go green this time by. I'm a little surprised that the safety car... we were waiting for Anyote, was the only other driver who had not caught up to the queue. Of course, currently sitting P16. I think, no offense to Anyote here by any means, but at that point, you got 3 laps to go. I would bring that safety car in at that point. But the safety car will... okay, we haven't gotten the message yet. I'm assuming we'll be in at the end of this lap. Merck leads on what is now 13-lap-old hard tires, realistically 11 racing laps, 10 racing laps. So that will help him. Everybody else behind him on the fresh soft, literally everybody else behind him on fresh soft tires. Safety car in at the end of this lap. Merck, sweating bullets now, and, well, his heart rate's got to go through the roof because he's got essentially a lap here to defend this win. This one is going to be the one that counts. I think genuinely if he hasn't gotten away far enough come that final lap of the Grand Prix, he's going to lose it. This has got to be the lap where Merck makes it count.
Yeah, we'll see where he goes here. I would imagine it's as he comes out of this final turn. But he's still backing the pack up.
This is interesting here. Damon. Oh, Damon's read it so well, hasn't he? Oh, maybe not. He's had to back off. And now Big Man Rye is really close to the back end of Damon. Damon's going to look low. Big Man Rye around the outside, outbreaking. Oh, and Damon's gone around. What? No, he hasn't. He saved it somehow. I was expecting the worst there. He's actually saved it after the contact as the Mercedes swap position and King Pro Player around the right side. Oh, this is very risky to be going through this section of track side by side like that as King Pro Player gets round the Sauber, as now we had a slight incident there towards the back. I think Charlie Golf maybe was slow, but Merck only has 0.3 of a second back to Big Man Rye, and even without DRS here, that Williams is on his way.
King Pro with the move of the night with the outside pass sector one there. Unbelievable pass.
Big man Rye has not been able to make the move work into 11. Merck is going to have to squeeze him up the track here. King Pro Player looking in behind. Merck has gone off track. He's gone all 4 tires over the white line. Rye in the lead. Whoa, that one was close. Merck nearly lost the car transitioning through the chicane, and now it's a second advantage between Big Man Rye and King Pro Player, and not to mention Reimer now in position to the inside, and he will get Merck as well, and now Johnny Damon in it. And this is really a dogfight now for what I would believe probably second to third place now, as we've got 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 cars available for these podium spots.
Yep, Merck falling like a rock now that these soft tire runners are, getting past him by the bunches.
DWCJ looking to the inside of DB to best. Of course, DB on that 3-second penalty, that's not helped him. Big Man Rye does lead, albeit once again the pylon is not working. It's a half a second gap between the two. Do we see the Mercedes duo find some work here? King Pro Player is going to have the DRS to Big Man Rye. Reimer is going to have it to both the Mercedes and the Williams if he's lucky. DRS will be activated here in just a moment's time. Big Man Rye leads, but only just on the final lap of the Grand Prix, coming into the back half of the lap.
King Pro getting really close here, and he can make a move if he just sticks close. But Reimer,
oh, look at this!
They come together.
Are you kidding me? I tell you what, Big Man Rye defended well. Oh, and he's gone round! Are you kidding me? It's gonna be King Pro Player. It's a battle between the Mercedes cars again. What in the hell has happened there?
And that was just a flat-out mistake by Big Man Rye. He got too close on the inside of that turn, and the wheels, the tires, just gravitated to the wall.
This might genuinely be one of the strangest races we've seen in CCRL, as Reimer is going to try it around the outside of his teammate. Silver Arrows in formation. Reimer's missed the corner. Johnny Damon's going for it. He's got the spot. And, well, how in the hell has it happened? King Pro Player is going to win the Miami Grand Prix. Damon somehow is rebounded to second, and Reimer will take third. Good result for the Alpines, 4th and 5th. But, oh my goodness, what have we just seen?
Unbelievable. So Big Man Rye made it back to the lead after all of that, just to lose it in the last sector. That's unbelievable.
Just a flat-out mistake as well. Nobody was even close to him. He's just gone too heavy on the throttle. He's gone, and that's a slightly odd part of the track to lose the car in as well, which I don't even know. What?
Wow,
I mean,
what a race.
One of the most odd races we have probably ever seen in CCRL ends with King Pro Player on the top step of the podium. I'll give credit to Johnny Damon. I thought that car was gone round for good on that safety car restart there. That car was pinged sideways. Somehow he saved it, and he gets second back. Very oddly, but he's done it.
Yeah, he really did a hell of a job saving that there on the restart, and look what it did. He ended up P2 for the night. Good job to Johnny Damon and the Mercedes fellows.
And that's the result we were hoping Johnny Damon was going to get. Well, here's your. I assume Stewart reports are going to be on the way. So look at this and take it for what it is now. King Pro Player with the win. Damon second. Reimer third. The pair of the Alpines 4th and 5th. DWCJ and Merck. Good result for them. Charlie Gulf rebounds to 6th, up from 19th on the grid. That's fantastic. DB to best down to 7th after his penalty. Angry Walrus 8th. 9th is Owa. 10th Big Man Rye after whatever the hell happened there. 11th Hemphead. 12th Mr. Miller. 13th Curveball. 14th Pontiac. 15th Agnote. 16th Manston. 17th, Bong it hasn't done there. He's DNF'd, hasn't he? Well, again, take these results as you will. Stewart reports are certainly going to be happening, but if you thought that was fun, we head to Montreal, Quebec, Canada, at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Hockey Grand Prix, sponsored by the Montreal Canadiens. No, I'm playing. But the Canadian Grand Prix here, round 11 of this CCRL season. Holy crap. Trackside, thank you for joining us, but what a race that was.
Yeah, it seems as if I couldn't have picked a better night to come join you guys. So it was fun, and hopefully we can do this again soon. I appreciate you having me on, Hotspot.
Absolutely, man. Well, everybody, take care. Have a good night, and we'll see you in Canada.